Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the school board and everybody else here. Before I...
Could you state your name?
Yes, I'm sorry, forgive me. Sean O'Connor, 152 Hickory Corner Road, apartment 313. Before I proceed with my written statement, I would like to know where the board stands with respect to the Common Core state standards. I'd like to know, are you for it or are you against it?
Well, I don't think the board has taken a position. I mean, we haven't taken a position for or against it, and the state requires us to give the exams.
Okay, so I was wondering if you would mind explaining to me your reasoning behind not publicly making a stand for or against it. The reason I ask this, the only reason I ask this, is because I view the board's philosophy of education as a crucial transparency need.
I'm sorry. If this is your opportunity to speak as a member of the public, we don't have to respond to you right here and to answer any question that you have. You're expressing your desire that there's such a statement come from this board, and you've made that. I think the board has heard that that's what you would like from us. Is there anything else you want to say?
I guess I just want to understand why the board doesn't want to publicly make a stand, because I think it's an important topic to make a stand about. So I was wondering why you don't want to, that's all.
The board hasn't had that kind of a conversation, so, there's nothing for us to make a stand about. I don't know that we have enough information to make a stand about anything. This is all brand new.
Do you believe that the...
I'm not going to answer your questions back and forth. If you want to, this is your opportunity as a member of the public to raise any questions and concerns you have, but I'm not going to enter into a dialogue with you here about it.
Okay, I don't mean to come across as trying to debate you. What I mean to Common Core, they've been talking about it since 2011, so we've had a long time to do our research and talk about it. And I personally submit the opinion that it is the responsibility of the school board to take that as a priority and to absolutely, if not make a stand, talk about it. It must be talked about. And I want to make that statement and then proceed with my written statement here. Because in light of this topic of Common Core, I believe that there are two fundamental problems with it. First of all, just to be clear, it's actually unconstitutional, and it violates several other federal laws. And it also strips us of our rights to adopt better standards. I say it is unconstitutional because the 10th Amendment gives the states control of education, does not give the federal government this authority. Specifically what the amendment says is, quote, "The power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people." Close quotes. Furthermore, as one article I read outlined, the General Education Provisions Act, the Department of Education Organization Act, and the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 banned the Department of Education from directing, supervising, or controlling elementary and secondary school curriculum, programs of instruction, and instructional materials. That includes then the federal government using federal grant money to influence state education policies. So they violated our Constitution and broke laws. We have a moral responsibility to call them out on this. Think of what this unconstitutional, illegal activity teaches our children, that some laws are okay to break. And we talked about this a little bit earlier. Certain rules that are okay to break. Talking about things in your backpack. Forget exactly. distributing books, that was the example, forgive me. We don't want to teach our children that some laws are okay to break and other laws we should follow. But we don't want to teach them that when you want someone to do something, you bribe them. That's morally reprehensible. We also don't want to teach our children, ladies and gentlemen, that our Constitution and our laws are meaningless. Our Constitution is what gives us the right now, tonight, to have this kind of dialogue. So I just want to be very emphatic about that value. It's a very, very precious, important value. And I'm really not okay with this, ladies and gentlemen. Not at all. And I don't think anybody here in this room, I don't think anybody in the United States of America should be okay with the way that the Common Core state standards were thrown onto the public. Imagine, if you will, a culture where more of this happens, more lawlessness or selective law-abiding takes place. If we teach this to our children, they grow up thinking this is okay, what's the world going to be like 20 years from now? I ask you to contemplate that. Now, in regard to our right as a community to adopt standards that are better than the Common Core state standards, consider what losing that right means. It discourages and somewhat bans competition, excellence, choice, thinking for ourselves, and instead encourages our children to suspect that these days the federal government knows what's best all the time. And if they say that their conclusions are right, if they say that their conclusion that their standards are best, then it's saying that our Board of Education, they're saying to you that you're incapable of creating a good curriculum. I take that as an insult, personally. Considering, yes, pardon me. I want to bring to light the words of a resolution passed by the Douglas County School Board in Colorado opposing Common Core. Quote, the Douglas County School District standards are more rigorous, more demanding, more thorough, and reflect higher expectations and aspirations for the student than any national standard now in existence, including the Common Core state standards. Close quotes. So, I think that that's the real American wise approach to education. I think that Common Core is it's anti-American, it's anti-freedom, it's anti-competition, it's anti-choice, and it's anti-logic. So let's be like the Douglas County School Board in Colorado, and let's be like other boards across the nation, and pass a resolution opposing Common Core. They did it in Lakeland, Tennessee. They did it in East Peoria, Illinois. They did it in Gilbert, Arizona. They did it in Wayne, New Jersey. If you guys here, I'm sorry, I try to read it so perfectly that my head goes all over the place sometimes, I apologize. If you join these other school boards in this effort, you will have the opportunity to take part of the heroic effort to protect our liberty and to protect good, high-quality education in the United States of America. So please do it. And please pass, by the way, also an official resolution allowing and recognizing students' rights to opt out of PERC, because this is an attachment of Common Core, and all the things that come with it are wrong. So I want to ask you, really, sincerely, will you do this? Will you do this? I would just like an answer, yes or no.
You're not gonna get an answer.
I'm not going to get an answer.
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, so I just want to make it clear that to the public, first of all, that I did ask for a yes or no answer, for a simple yes or no answer, and that I didn't get one. And I also would just like a record in the minutes indicating that I asked for the position. I brought this up last week. I didn't get a single response other than a thank you, which I found insulting and disrespectful. But just for the record, I didn't want to say that, but I do feel a little insulted that you don't think that this issue is at least worthy of discussion. I think even if you said it's important to have a discussion, Common Core, which there is so much evidence suggesting, proving in my opinion, that it's a destructive policy, destructive set of standards for our children, that I think you should really consider discussing this a major priority. And by the way, it also influences our property tax rate. And if it doesn't influence our property tax rate, it'll be our federal or state income tax. So it's a major tax issue, and it's a major education issue, forgive me, and it's a major moral issue. Please, I wish you would pass a resolution like this. I wish you would talk about it. Thank you.